In this video, I'm going to show you how I made over $30,000. This was a trade which I walked everybody through on my live stream, live trading, and I'm going to show you guys my thesis behind why I decided to take the trade. Now, past performances are not indicative of future results. Trading is extremely risky. You can lose more than your initial investment, and this is just my own personal trade. Always make sure to seek a licensed professional advisor before looking for financial advice and all that stuff. So, first things first, right? The trade which we took was virtuals. Now you'll actually see that we laid out this kind of trade, like just kind of like how it was going to play out. Okay, like I thought, okay, maybe it was this resistance level, we pull back and then we break out and we go to the next level. Now I actually took out most of my position up here, and I'll tell you exactly why I decided to take out most of my position up here. And I'm also going to walk you through a thesis which you can replicate. So make sure to sit back, relax, and take notes. It's going to be very, very important. Now, first things first, right? If we actually have a look at the virtuals price action, you can see two very important things. Number one, if I actually go to the hourly, so the chart looks a little bit cleaner, you'll see that we reversed and we also had an increase in volume. Now, price normally follows volume, right? If you have the price going up, but the volume doesn't look all that great, you're probably not going to be seeing much motion on your chart. Right, it's probably going to reverse over or fold over because it's like fake price action. But if you see a breakout and volume going up, whether you're trading meme coins, whether you're trading altcoins, whether you're even trading Bitcoin, right? If you see price and volume, that's extremely good. And that's what I'm seeing. Now, most people, what they do is when they see that, they look at this chart and they think, oh, well, I'm too late. Or maybe the breakout was down here, so I'm too late. Right? That actually wasn't the case. Now, the reason why we have such an advantage for these types of trades is because we're in the trenches. Right? If you don't know what the trenches is, the trenches just stands for like, you know, if you're trading every single day, you know, you're locked in, you're trading meme coins, you're doing something, right? You're in the trenches, you're trading, right? But most people think it's a negative. They're like, oh, well, you know, the trenches, I'm trying to make it out of the trenches. There's nothing really outside of the trenches, in my opinion. But what really is it to do outside of the trenches? Go on holiday and stuff like that. I've done all of that stuff, guys. It's fun, but I don't know. I think I'm just in love with the game of just enjoying making money and trading. I just enjoy it, right? Because I'm like that, okay, and other people like that, as you can see in the trenches on the other side. I've just started the VC this morning. We've already got 11 people. Normally we have about 50 people active throughout the entire day, right? Any day. We get to see where the market's at. Now, virtuals at the time was this X402 narrative, right? I'm sure if you've been trading recently, you know what the X402 narrative is. If you don't, what X402 tokens are they allow AI agents to actually take payments from each other, right? And instead of paying like full subscriptions, they pay just for the data which they're using. And you'll actually see that if we go to X402 scan over here and we actually go to the home page, okay, you see a lot of these agents were actually getting a lot of volume. Right? A bunch of volume. And most of these agents are actually on the base chain, if we have a look over here in the top right hand side. And on Twitter, this is becoming a massive narrative. Right? If you look at X402, you'll actually see that all over Twitter, people were talking about this narrative and how this narrative is going to grow. Even though it's been around for a long time, right now was the time it was picking up mindshare. Now, personally, guys, I don't trade a token unless it has large mindshare. Because if we look at most charts, especially if we go on TradingView, I was actually looking at this earlier today, most charts are cooked, like they're absolutely fried. And we already know after the liquidation event, the large liquidation event, that most people don't even hold these tokens as it is anyway, right? If we look at, let's say World Liberty Fi, for example, you will see that all of these charts, any chart you look at, had this massive liquidation candle. Of course, even virtuals had this candle, right? So this event told me, right, and actually reconfirmed to me that most of the stuff on chain is just a scam, right? All of these tokens are traded by centralized exchanges. They control all the supply and they move the markets at exactly the same time. When the market pumps, everything pumps at the same time. When the market dumps, everything dumps at the same time, right? And it showed me that these markets are very illiquid. So for the past 3 months, even before this event, I've been trading with a specific strategy, and that is only trading tokens which already have a large mindshare and which relate to the trenches. So when Pump Fund is doing great and everybody's trading on Pump Fund, instead of just logging on and trying to trench on Pump Fund as well, I will long Pump token. When Bonk is doing very well, okay, everybody's trading on Bonk, right? I will long Bonk token. okay? And you'll see that every single time there is a major run, okay, in the trenches for a related coin, you'll see that tokens like Bonk, for example, like Pump, if you go and have a look at Pump, they always do about 100 to 200%, okay? In this case, Bonk from the lows during the time when it was hot in about June, went up 230%, okay, in 14 days, in 2 weeks, okay? So 20x with 10x leverage, right? That's absolutely insane. It's of which you could take over. Even Jupiter, right? Jupiter tokens are doing well, okay? The Launchpad ecosystem is doing well. And that's translating into its token price. You can see just in the past 5 days, it's up about 34%, okay? Compare that with some other altcoins, like I said, World Liberty, even like Aster, for example, Sui, for example, right? Sui isn't really doing that well. In fact, Sui is actually rolling over right now in the past 2 days, okay? So when you're in the game and you can see where the chips are flowing, where the attention, the mind share is flowing, gives you a massive advantage for actually leverage trading. You don't have to leverage trade every day, but when you see the opportunity, you can take it, right? So this is when I decided to go and actually had a look at virtuals, right? When we had a look at virtuals, we seen two major things. Number one, okay, if we actually, I can clear out this entire chart again, okay? Number one is we tap the support at the bottom of the entire range. Right? So if we look at the bottom of the entire range, okay, during the liquidation event, we actually tapped and tested the bottom of this range, right? Barely broke through it, okay? And in less than a day, it was already back at 76 cents. So that's strength. That's a lot of strength right there. Whereas again, if you look at some alts are still trading in this range down here. They're still trading down here, which is extremely, extremely bearish, okay? Then if we have a look at this chart and then we pull a volume protocol, okay, we run it across, that's the whole thing, but I have to run it from about here, from about where we had the dip. You see again, the volume protocol was right at the body of these candles. And again, you'll see whenever we bounce from the point of control, which is this white line over here, we zoom in, this white line over here, if we bounce from it, we normally test the value area high. Well, almost always we will test the value area high. So this trade setup from here to here is extremely good. Like this is money. We're talking about a trade setup, one of my favorite trade setups. This trade setup here from here to here is moolah, okay? Then if we also have a look at simple TA and price structure, you can see that we broke this downtrend as well. So we had multiple areas of confluence, okay? Without having to wait for anybody else to decide what we're doing here, we found a token with high mind share and volume, because obviously everyone's trading X402 tokens. They're on base. A lot of the X402 tokens that were already working were on virtual. Okay, so it has mind share. People are going to actually be buying it. This token is real people buying it. It's not just crazy market making. Okay, people are going to be actually buying it. Okay, so we can get around the dodgy market making. Are going to try to just liquidate the longs and the shorts every single day. Okay, then if we look at the price structure, we can see just by using two things, volume protocol and just general TA, you can see we broke the downtrend and we're here. Okay, so when we looked at the 4 hour for entry, okay, we seen this is the perfect time to actually go and take a position. And you will actually see right here, what was the top? 1.64. Where did we take profit? Literally the top, 1.636. Okay, that's where I took out $29,000. Literally the top. Okay, now when we go into entries, okay, one thing I like to do is I like to ladder my entries. Okay, really manage my position when I'm actually getting into a trade. Back in the day, I just used to gamble and chuck the money in. Okay, but nowadays I'll ladder in my position. You can see positions like this, okay, where I put in 21,000 virtual, okay, positions like this. We reduce the position a little bit, increase the position, and then add to the position on the way up. Now you'll notice that when the position came down, I didn't DCA into the position, okay? So we get an entry here, okay, entry here, manage it a little bit. We started to see it's rolling over a little bit. We break out, added to the position. When the position rolled over, I didn't DCA. Now, why is that? Okay, that is because one of my trading rules is I never dare losing position anymore. Okay, there were times, even in the meme coin space, where I would look at a position, I'd be like, right, okay, I'm getting supply cheaper. I can get 1% supply maybe for half the price right now. It's gone from 500, market cap down for 250. If I put in 2.5 grand, I can get 1% supply. I'm getting a discount. No, I've noticed that losers will continue to lose, winners will continue to win. Okay, so why am I going to increase the position size on a losing position when I can increase my position on a winning size, play with the house's money because I'm already in profit. If it comes all the way back down, I'm about to break even. And on top of that, it's probably going to continue to run because the chart looks good. People like to top blast charts which are already moving. They don't like to buy the dip anymore, okay? I mean, that's what happened, okay? Chart reversed. We ran up to that resistance level, took out 75%, about 23K, okay? And then took out the last position here, which is the rest of my position. And if we look at the total profit for that position, we have 29,400, okay? We also have 6,000 as well. So that's about $35,000, maybe $36,000 in just under a day. So just over a day. Amazing, right? Absolutely fucking amazing. And you'll also see that aligned with what? That aligned with the value area high, okay, which we're now seeing a pullback. So what's next for this position? How does virtuals go? Okay, in my opinion, I'm looking to get another entry on virtuals right at this 618 level right here. You'll actually see that the 618 provided as a support level right here before we tap the value area high. And if we're talking about, okay, are we potentially going to break out? Maybe we run up to this 2618, okay? We will really need to see some motion and momentum in this chart, okay? We also know that Bitcoin, okay, has its CME gap, right? I think it's like somewhere down here. Look at the daily. I think the CME gap is somewhere actually down here, okay? So Bitcoin needs to come down and fill the CME gap as well, okay? So that's what gave me the idea to, one, I can take out a little bit more profits on virtuals. Two, I'll probably get a re-entry when Bitcoin comes back down, okay? And then we'll see where we go, okay? Maybe we go as high as, you know, $3.70. That has been a trade which can happen. If we break the value area high and we reverse, we're probably going to go up to $3.70, okay? Of course, we'll have resistance at these levels. Of course, we'll have resistance at this level here, of course, right? Well, $3.70 isn't as far as you might think. Okay, so that's my idea of how I like to take these trades. I base the trades off mind share, and when I'm trenching or in the trenches, that's where I like to put my positions, because smart money and larger money isn't going to be buying a $1 million market cap or $2 million market cap. They're going to look at the ecosystem and they're going to bid the ecosystem instead. And that's what we see with Bonk. That's what we're currently seeing with Pump Fund. That's what we see with virtuals right now. It's probably what we see with other areas when people just go and just buy Ethereum, right? For example, instead of buying all the stablecoin companies, right? We've seen all the stablecoin companies get rugged. People just go and buy ETH instead, okay? Because ETH is the largest stablecoin chain that we have. So with that being said, guys, if you don't want to subscribe to the channel, you'll find it down below. If you're looking for the best place to trade and where I like to trade, I trade on Blowfin. You'll find a link in the description. Cheapest fees, cheaper than Mexi and everything like that. And if you do want to learn how to trade and everything like this, check out my channel. I do tutorials every single day and I'll show you guys live, as we're seeing right now, live, how to do these types of trades. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the trenches.